All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 2022 graduation for Anoka Ramsey Community College. First, to the graduates, the reason why we're all here. Congratulations on achieving this goal. We know this is just the first of many achievements to come. To the family and friends of tonight's graduates, we know that many sacrifices have been made along this educational journey. Thank you for your support of our students, and thank you for being there to recognize the importance of this event in the lives of our graduates. It is my honor and privilege to introduce President Dr. Kent Hansen.
Thank you. You can all sit down. Welcome, graduates, family, and friends, to the 2022 commencement for Anoka Ramsey Community College, Cambridge campus. It's an honor for me to be here with you tonight, as it's been 2 years since we've done this. I'm sure we've all missed this. So if we're a little out of practice tonight, you just have to give us a little break, okay? So, family and friends, we really appreciate your support for our graduates over this last couple of years. I think we've all needed some support over these last couple of years. So actually in February of 2020, I actually had a full head of brown hair. So the pandemic, I think, has eaten into us all. Again, this is very special. A couple months ago, I was asked, well, are we gonna do an in-person graduation? And with the cases down and stuff, I'm like, heck yeah, it's time to get back into business here. So one little caveat though is we probably, well, not probably, we won't be shaking hands tonight. We just want to err on the side of caution and safety. So we'll be handing out the diplomas here in a little bit. We have a lot of very important groups that have helped Anoka Ramsey transition during this pandemic. And I have to say, it's really been a team effort from our faculty, our students, our staff. We've all worked together to get through this. I do want to recognize some folks. We have a very dedicated group of faculty here at Anoka Ramsey that care about your success. And I think we've heard the word pivot a few too many times, right? I'm a former basketball player, so I thought it meant something completely different. But anyways, we got used to pivoting, wearing masks, not wearing masks, social distancing. You know, one thing I'm gonna be really happy to see is when we're not talking to people and say, I think you're muted, right? Well, I'll miss that. So anyways, kudos to our faculty. We have a great group of deans here who have really worked tremendously to try and figure out the best delivery methods, to get a schedule that works during all this, and they've really been an awesome help in every way, shape, and form. And our staff as well have really stepped up to the plate in their dedication to serving students either remotely or in person and juggling all that together. And most of all, you students who have probably didn't sign up for Zoom meetings and online education when you started, so your perseverance is really duly noted, and I thank you for your patience and flexibility. And I'm very proud of your perseverance to get through this. But I'd like these folks over here, faculty, deans, and staff, to stand up, and I'd like to give them a big round of applause. Thank you. Trustee Cheryl Teffer sends her congratulations to the graduates. Trustee Teffer was a nursing teacher here for many years at Anoka Ramsey, and now she's on the board of trustees for the Min-State system. So I wanted to pass on her congratulations to you. We're keeping all of our remarks short tonight, but I did have a couple of things I always like to mention to the students, maybe send you away with some wisdom from the old guy up here with no hair anymore. One thing that if I could give you something, it would be a great big shot in the arm of self-confidence and positivity. And I think, you know, for all of us, we can use that now and then. And I think it's important for you, especially as graduates. You know, you can be, do, or have anything that you want in this life. You just have to dream it, believe it, and allow it to happen. So one of the biggest killers of our dreams is self-doubt. And so I urge you to fight through the self-doubt and just rely on that self-confidence that I just gave you the big boost for. You know, you have a strong foundation to do what you want in life. Anoka Ramsey is a great launching pad for you. For me, my 2-year degree is probably the most important degree that I have. And I have many. I've been to school a long, long time after graduation from high school. But my 2-year degree was the most impactful for me, and that was a degree in X-ray tech. But that gave me a trajectory in life to have the confidence to get out in the healthcare field, to grow, continue my education, and continue to face the challenges that were placed before me in life. So you have a great launching pad. I'll be really interested in seeing what you are accomplishing in your lives. I might not see you individually in the future, but when I'm out and about in the community, people ask me where I work, and I say, well, I work at Anoka Ramsey, and they're like, oh, you wouldn't believe what I'm doing now and what Anoka Ramsey did for me. And so I don't tell them I'm the president, because, you know, I don't want to, like, get into that, but, but they tell me they're so happy, and the launching pad that Anoka Ramsey has created them and their future. So thank you for being an alumni here soon for Anoka Ramsey, and I expect you to go out and do great things. The last little piece I wanted to mention to you, remember that shot in the arm is about self-confidence and positivity. So the bottom of my email, I always have stay positive. It's not only to remind others to stay positive, but it's for me to stay positive. And I think when we're looking at pursuing our dreams, being positive more than negative is really a key part of that. And so it's not always easy to do. We can't always stop the negativity that comes in our lives, but I really urge you to try and be more positive than negative. And if something negative comes into your life, take it as a learning experience. So congratulations, graduates. Looking forward to the commencement ceremony tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, President Hansen. I would now like to welcome Dr. Melanie Melendrez-Villar to the podium to share this evening. Welcome, Dr. Melendrez-Villar.
Thank you. If you're tracking in your programs, I am not an eloquent, bespectacled gentleman named Bill Breen. I am a tiny Latin woman that has to wear heels to crack 5'4". Okay. Yes, I am Dr. Melanie Melendrez-Vallard, and my students call me Dr. M. And let's talk about graduations. But in order to talk about graduations, we have to talk about the journey. And every journey is a story, and I love telling stories. And so that's what I'm going to do. There are about 20 people in attendance at my PhD dissertation defense. Peers, professors, committee members, of course. The presentation went well. I have no idea what I said, but I did make them laugh, and I took that as a good sign. After the presentation comes the defense, where I, as a 29-year-old candidate, is put in a room with 5 PhD-level scientists, and I'm asked to give an accounting, committee-to-candidate question and answer session as they go through the pages of my 281-page dissertation. As far as rites of passage go, it's pretty traumatic. After the presentation, a charge session, by the way, they led me out into the hallway while they spent the time to deliberate if my many years of productivity and efficiency, despite my disparities, merited awarding the title of Doctor of Philosophy in my field. So I went out into the hallway, walked to the bathroom, and threw up. I'm not afraid to admit it. Okay, so let's back up. It's been 21 years since my undergraduate experience. Neither of my parents attended a 4-year school. I was the first child in my family to attend college and graduate. I was pre-med, I double majored with biology and Spanish because I figured if I failed at biology, I could become a Spanish teacher or like a translator or something. Like many first-generation students, I had no idea how to navigate my collegiate experience. I almost gave up and went home after my first semester because after working 30 hours a week and holding a full schedule of classes, I had only earned a 2.7 GPA. Now, I was one of 6 valedictorians in my high school. So you can imagine the kind of blow my 18-year-old mind took at this failure, this mantra of no, an education is the only way up out of your circumstances toward prestige, prosperity, and success. There were no mechanisms in place, or that I knew of at the time, in my college for students like me. College felt very sink or swim. So I didn't thrive in college, but I did survive. And at graduation, I went through the motions, I made my parents proud, but I felt kind of dead inside. A year after graduation, I burnt out. I had a mental breakdown, and I went home. 2 years later, I entered my PhD program at Montana State University. It was really cool. I loved the place, I loved the people, I loved my professors. They were generally cool. You could go grab a beer with them after running hours of lab experiments. I got to study the complexity of cyanobacterial niche differentiation and how that impacts what we see as species in microbiology. Yeah, I get you, I lost half the auditorium. It was really cool to me, okay? It really was. And I was getting paid to do my schooling, and so it released that pressure. Over the next 7 years, I was alternately elated in what I did, who I was, and what I was becoming, and also really frustrated, feeling like I was good, but not good enough. Now, why would I think that, right? Comments, just passing comments, well-intentioned. I'm so impressed with how far you've come given your disadvantaged background. Oh, don't worry, honey, you'll succeed in science, not because you're particularly smart, but man, you have energy, and you persevere. Why do compliments have to be qualified, right? Why do they have to be backhanded? Why can't they just be compliments? So instead, I got the image that I was good, considering who I am. Over the years, the frustration chips away at you, right? Feeling like you should say something, but petrified if you do, you're gonna lose one of the best opportunities you've had to date. You feel powerless, not knowing if you have rights, not wanting to anger anyone, wanting to be a team player, wanting to assimilate, wanting to be all-American apple pie. Okay, brown apple pie, but apple pie nonetheless. Up until my first job, I had never encountered any educators or scientists like me, and oftentimes I reflect on what my experience might have been like had I had that opportunity. However, one of the things that my mentors and advisors in grad school and postgraduate school all had in common, all older, white, prosperous men, but one thing they all had in common was privilege. And one of the things that they were able to do for me was risk it. Now, as someone who kind of clawed her way into privilege, I can see how it would be really hard to risk something as precious as privilege. But they did it, nevertheless, without a second thought. They fiercely, surprisingly sometimes, defended my work. They encouraged me to speak my truth, staying in the background to ensure I was not trampled, and they tasked me with never apologizing for who I was, and to own myself proudly. All right. In case you're still wondering, I did pass my PhD dissertation defense, but I didn't walk in my graduation ceremony. Honestly, I didn't have the drive. Just like in college, I knew that I had accomplished something big, yet I was really just tired inside. Reflecting 12 years later, it took me a long time to realize I don't have to force myself to be apple pie. I can be me, and that's enough. Graduating college while working part-time or full-time is remarkable. Earning your degree is remarkable. It took me a long time to appreciate myself and to know that I deserved the degree that I had worked so long to achieve. Okay, final comments. Because I know everybody here after this, during this graduation season, is going to walk out the recessional, and I'm going to do the same because my mom's on live stream. Proof that I am wearing this regalia that I have graduated. I have donned my doctoral regalia for the first time, 12 years after my graduation. I'm still learning how to be an advocate for students, and as an educator, a scientist, and a biracial woman in STEM. To the single working parent graduating today, you're remarkable. To the mother who came back to finish her nursing degree after years of raising children, you are remarkable. To all of you who finish your degrees while fighting depression, anxiety, ADHD, or any other sort of mental or physical challenges, you are remarkable. To all my BIPOC and LGBTQIA+ students who routinely fight off invisibility, discrimination, microaggressions, and feeling like you're not good enough, I'm here to tell you, you are remarkable and you are enough. Walk into your future with confidence as a colleague, a peer, an advocate, and an advisor to those that are just like you, empowering them and ensuring them that they're remarkable too. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Melanie Melendez-Vallard. Your words of wisdom and inspiration are appreciated. Thank you for sharing. I would now like to introduce our student speaker for tonight's ceremony. Gianne McCurris is a student graduating tonight with an Associate of Arts in Liberal Arts and Sciences. Please join me in welcoming Gianne.
Good evening, everyone. It is an absolute honor to be speaking to you today. I would like to take a moment to thank those who made tonight possible. Please join me in giving a round of applause to our professors, college staff, family, and friends for their continuous support, encouragement, and all of the time, energy, and resources they invested in our education. When I first stepped foot on campus 2 years ago, my heart was pounding and I was visibly shaking. Actually, quite similar to my current state. I wasn't even taking an in-person course. In fact, I was merely there to study. Nevertheless, I was somewhat overcome by my fear. This is a common attribute that each of us possess and will continue to experience despite our adverse feelings towards it. However, a little fear is healthy. It's what prevents us from impulsively making a potentially detrimental decision. Also, it forces you to concentrate. It is a source of empowerment. And, most importantly, it facilitates relationships. Fear has more prominently dictated our lives for the past couple of years, and it has been trying, to say the least. The endless hours of homework, sleepless nights, and some procrastination have caused us to question our sanity. The additional strain of COVID left many of us reeling. Anxiety and apprehension were rampant. Our resiliency was tested. As I look out among the audience tonight, every one of you is proof of our instinctive nature to overcome obstacles and achieve our goals. But how do we quell our fears? In short, relationships. During COVID, the importance of relationships became even more apparent. A sense of community was and continues to be pivotal in our lives. It is easy to prioritize your personal needs and goals, but as I have frequently been reminded, relationships should not be taken for granted. In a sense, Relationships are the antidote to fear. As previously mentioned, the past 2 years have been marked with adversity. However, these trials have monumentally shaped and strengthened our character. I do not know the situations and conditions each individual has endured, but I do know that these experiences have taught us many valuable lessons and have better equipped us to go out into the world. I am proud of all that we have accomplished and that I am part of such a talented, flexible, and determined class. I would like to leave you today with the words of a woman who triumphed over her trials and wielded her physical condition constructively to live a prosperous life. The willingness and bravery of Helen Keller to not let her lack of eyesight and hearing leave her powerless distinguishes her in history. As a prime example of her resiliency, she once said, and I quote, "Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, ambition inspired, and success achieved." Fellow graduates, as you step out into the world and embark on your journey through life, keep seeking out and strengthening your relationships. Continue to challenge yourself, and never let fear stop you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeanne, for your inspirational words. Let's give another show of appreciation for sharing with us this evening. All right, we're now down to the part you've been waiting for. Will the graduates please rise? President Hansen, I present to you the graduating class of 2022. They have completed all of the requirements for their respective degrees and have met the requirements as set forth by the faculty and the college.
All right, here we go. I'm so excited. Morgan Allen. Emma Anderson. Josiah Anstedt. Brittany Bailey. Madeline Barlage. Alexandria Barton. Nathaniel Bauer. Emma Bellows. Sydney Bretnison. Callie Brown. Hergie Burka. Casey Catton. Aaron Cavalier. Eunice Chiris. Elizabeth Christensen. Grace Christofferson. Brenda Collier. Jennifer Daniels. Jadalyn Dean. Kaylee Drew. Kyra DuPont. Catherine Dore. Lillian Erbstoser. Maria Gleason. Jacqueline Gorsuch. Patricia Grove. Hannah Holmes. Emily Jabs. Rebecca Johnson. Justine Joyle. Tegan Keppen. Hannah Kopel. Garrett Korkowski. Amanda LaChapelle. Ryan Nyblum. Mao Lee. Joelle Leegland. Courtney McAdans. Jennifer Madison. Jeanne Mercoris. Anna Krakow. Leah Moberg. Brooke Morrison. Ashley Mortensen. Alyssa Nordvik. Evie Olson. Sadie Olson. Ariel Orr. Heidi Ostrowski. Carrie Parker. Kendra Paulson. Alyssa Peters. Zoe Peterson. Brooke Peterson. Heather Pommier. Natalie Randall. Kelly Rawlings. Kayla Rusted. Cecilia Sanborn. Piper Sauter. Madison Shaw. Shauna Skog. Callie Stanhope. Garrett Stroud. Rebecca Sunball. Matthew Thielander. Hannah Thomas. Maya Volkman. Joyce Wallstrom. Asher Ward. Abby Williams. Heather Wilson. Sam Wood. Pachia Shang. Jackson Young. Congratulations to all of our graduates.
Okay, graduates. By virtue of the authority granted to me by the Minnesota State Colleges and Universities Board of Trustees, I hereby award each of you the degree for which you applied and all the rights and privileges accorded by that degree. Congratulations. Now, that little tassel that you have up here, it's supposed to be on the left side now, so why don't you go ahead? Some of you already jumped the gun on that one, but move it to the left. Let's give them a round of applause again. Thanks everybody for joining us tonight, and there'll be a reception out there to follow. Again, congratulations.
You can.